in the Spurling podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe. For the intelligent, black men is relevant. Why ask questions when you know the answer? So we bypass outlast channels, no gossip. We about that life. Tune in, subscribe, hop in the broadcast, stay current. Then the Spurling podcast, vibe with it. On the couch, leaving your house so you can ride with it. Voice of black excellence with no fronting. In the space we speak how we feel. The blizzard's coming.
The incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from a group of men who were brought to this country in the hulls of slave ships. I know we got... Look, you might not like it, but that's still who we are. That exuberance, that flamboyantness, that's the black man. And below I see athleticism, I see timing, I see soul. I promise you, if that was a white man out there dancing like that, moving and had that sort of timing, you all would be okay with it. And I'm telling you, it's okay to be okay with it. It's appropriate. He is at the African American graduation. He's getting his AA degree. That boy is probably no more than 19, 20 years old. Coming from where he came from, the same place I came from, if I could dance like that, I might do it now.
Puerto Rican man or Dominican man?
Black.
Puerto Rican man or Dominican man?
Black. Like other cultures. This is the happiest people I ever met. And the nice.
If you tell the truth, you're gonna rub
the
them
more
up.
beautiful
If you tell the truth, you'll lose your job. If you tell the truth, people think you're a bad guy.
We winning. We foundation inventors over here. Black men been building and contending over here. Gender wars have started, lot of sinning over here. Trying to get it together, no pretending over here. God's plan is real, they attacking the original. How you want protection in your section, hypocritical. How you want a real man, think it's so cynical. Number one, in hospital deaths, talking clinical. Depression turn 50, die alone, it's preventable. You can't even wear your own hair using chemicals. You won't even listen to your man, not identical. You having them Drake babies, we not feeling you. Time is running out, you can't hide, we revealing you. Ain't nobody ever told the lies that we see in you. Divest, vanilla up your pie, still invisible. That's why we fly to friendly skies, and here's the proof. Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. Why take a L when we winning over here? This when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate, they hate while we winning over here. Smell that, that's confidence, we winning over here. Passport, no doubt, cause we winning over here. We winning over here. Man. Can't wait to get back to Thailand, man. Got on my Bangkok shirt, man. I'll be back out there. Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm just peace, relaxation.
You had enough of the Matrix?
Oh, man, I already had enough. When I got back almost 2
Everything
months
look
ago.
Different. What I tell you, when you come back, everything
oh,
look
yeah.
different.
Oh, winning over here. Jump the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, cause the blizzard jumps. Finances are short, so they taking from the men. Open up them borders, let them immigrants come in. Dilute the water, so you sipping from the sin. Bioengineered all the food that's going in.
This is science meat. FDA approved science meat, of course. It was grown in a vat instead of inside an animal's body. And I'm about to chow down on it.
Poison the country, even music full of gin. Evil spirits and devils got us jumping out the spin. Can't trust the people, no community events. Diseases inside, destroy communities within. Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. Why take a L when we winning over here? That's what when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate they hate while they winning over here. Smell that, that's confidence, we winning over here. Passport, no doubt, I'll be winning over here. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzards and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king.
And $1 million for you can't see the pumps. Not country. Country girl just love you just because. You want to work so hard? You work too hard for the town girl. Country girl take you how you is. Country girl accept you. You understand what I say? Country girl will cook for you, clean for you, wash your clothes for you, make sure wipe out mat out your eye for you, dig out your nose for you, bust your bum for you, Tony, no time for that.
I'm trying to see what that be like right there. Look, be that time.
Jet means forward. You requested it, so we rewound.
Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. Why take a L when we winning over here? That's what when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate they hate while they winning over here. Smell that, that's confidence, we winning over here. Passport, no doubt, I'll be winning over here. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzards and the blizzard jumps. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning.
And then you wonder why brothers want to get on the airplanes and go other places. Half the time we could deal with the women, it's you dudes. You self-hating, selfish, narcissistic black men that we don't want to be around. We can't enjoy anything. Because if we got 2 nickels more to rub together, then you want to come hit us upside the head and take it. Y'all always coveting somebody else's stuff. Y'all, truthfully, y'all jealous of that man, Aaron Sloan. You wish you could speak like him. He was too proud, and so y'all wanted to break him down, just like the slave catcher DNA that's running through your blood. Yeah. Welcome to the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Big up to Melanated FTM. Shout out to Fran, Mark the Freelancer, my man Joe Martin. Always good to have my guys up in here. Y'all hit the #1 button. Let's go ahead and get this algorithm popping. Welcome to the broadcast. As I said, my name is Dennis Spurling, also known as Uncle D, also known as the Blizzard King. I'm a Hall of Fame attorney. So says the Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge. I'm a business owner. I'm a father, author. Hell, I'm an actor, a rapper, a poet, a king, upon another. Let me stop, man. Let me cut it out. Hold on, my collar done popped too high. Jesus H. Christ. Babe, look at my collar. What is wrong with my collar back here, baby? I got to get myself together. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh, there it is. I done popped my collar too hard. Man, I can't do this. I can't do that. Let me get this together. Well, anyway, welcome to the broadcast. Tonight we got an interesting one. We are continuing on our power series. If I can just get this doggone collar to come down, I'm gonna have to take the whole damn thing off just to get it straight. But anyway, Devin Townsend, big up to you. Who else we got up in here? Broken Blade. We got all my guys up in here, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody who came through, who's been here for years. And what I want to go ahead and do is I want to make sure that we go ahead and keep this power series going. Somebody type money and power in the chat room. Somebody type money and power in the chat room. The chat room is going to be popping tonight. It's going to be going down. I want you guys to make sure that you check out all the videos that I've done before, past couple of days. Okay, tonight we're going to talk about something else. Praise God. Pause you for a minute. We're gonna talk about choosing wrong women and how that will destroy your life. Okay. All right. We here. Somebody say looking fresh. Thank you. Oh yeah. We back. Yeah, man. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you what I can do best, and that is talk to you all about the accumulation of money and power, wealth. I think those are some important lessons because at the end of the day, why would we be in the United States if other than that? I mean, we're blessed to be here. Think about it. We have 22 million millionaires here in the United States. We're making new ones every day. And if you add up all the millionaires in the world, 40% of them live right here in the USA. So we have 40% of the millionaires right here in the United States of America. So that should let you know, if anything else, this is a land of opportunity. And more importantly, if you can't do it here, then you're probably not going to be able to do it anywhere else. So one of the things that will destroy your potential is dealing with the wrong type of woman. So today I'm going to lay it all out, raw and unfiltered, because this is a topic that's been destroying men's lives for generations. It's about time we get real about it. We're going to talk about the number one thing that can either build you up to greatness or tear you down to nothing. The type of woman you choose to let into your life. Let's not sugarcoat it. Ending up with the wrong woman can be one of the most catastrophic decisions a man can make. It can ruin your financial ability, drain you emotionally. It even puts your life in jeopardy. We live in a time where modern relationships are more complicated than ever. Different structures, evolving gender roles, and the ever-present influence of social media. But no matter how much society changes, the facts remain. If you don't choose wisely, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of regret. I'm not here to coddle you, fellas. I'm not here to tell you everything's going to be okay. If you just follow your heart, that's a lie. The truth is, your heart can lead you straight to the gutter if you're not careful. Fellas, you need to understand that the wrong woman can interfere with every aspect of your life, from your ability to earn, save, and invest money to your mental and physical health, even your freedom. Yes, I said it, your freedom. Some of you are walking around like ticking time bombs, one bad relationship away from losing it all. And let's be honest, some of you already have. Look to your left, look to your right. One of you all have lost it all because of a bad relationship. Look, I've seen it happen time and time again. I've lived it myself. You think you found the one. Somebody type the one in the chat room. She's beautiful. She's charming. She's everything you think you want. But a few years in, the mask slips. And suddenly you're in a battle for your sanity, your finances, and your future. Trust me. When I say you don't want to learn this lesson the hard way. So today we're going to deep dive into why it's crucial to be ruthless in your selection process. I'm talking about recognizing the red flags, understand the financial risk, and protecting your peace of mind at all costs. Because, gentlemen, one wrong move in your love life can set you back decades or more. And some of you might not be able to recover from that. If it sounds harsh, good. It's supposed to, because the stakes are too high. And they're too high for me to be anything other than brutally honest with you. So let's get into it, and let's make sure you don't end up being the next casualty of a bad relationship. Now, here's the thing. Modern relationships, they have diverse structures. Modern relationships come in many forms beyond traditional marriage, even with unique dynamics and challenges of their own. Traditional marriage, still common, but approached more cautiously today. Couples often balance modern expectations of equality with traditional roles, which can lead to conflict. While many couples not now live together without marriage to test compatibility, however, the lack of legal protections can create issues, particularly regarding property and finances. You even have situations where people are polyamorous. Relationships involving multiple consensual partners are becoming more visible, but require strong communication and trust to manage challenges like jealousy, societal judgment. The whole concept of gender roles in relationships is rapidly evolving. There's a growing trend towards equality, with both partners, man and woman, contributing to the finances and household duties. And this can create friction in one partner who feels the division isn't equal. Some relationships see traditional roles reversed, challenging societal norms and potentially affecting self-worth, particularly for men. Men who are not the primary providers. It makes you feel bad when your woman is making more than you. It's just something you got to deal with. The other thing is technology has transformed how we connect and how we communicate in our relationships. Texting, social media, video calls. It makes staying connected easier, especially in long distance relationships. But these can also lead to misunderstandings due to lack of face-to-face interactions. How many times have you sent a text message out and somebody misread what you said, and then next thing you know, you get ghosted, right? It happens. The other thing is you have dating apps, and that broadens the dating pool, but it introduces challenges like difficulty of commitment due to so many choices. You got too many choices of ice cream, you might want to eat them all and end up sick and disgusted, right? Social media platforms like Instagram pressure couples to present a perfect relationship, and that in itself leads to stress and insecurity. The other thing is financial independence plays a crucial role in modern relationships. Many people focus on careers and financial stability before marriage, and that leads to later marriages, which is why you have so many Americans getting married at a much later date. Here's the other thing: growing awareness about of financial independence has led to a lot of people opting to get prenuptial agreements to protect their assets, because you can't plan for a divorce, or should I say, you hope you don't get a divorce, but you still should plan for one. The other thing is, it's common for partners to maintain separate bank accounts to avoid conflicts. And though this can cause issues for one person, especially the woman, if they feel excluded from your financial decisions, but it's probably the best thing to do. And the thing is, we need to understand the different dynamics that are part of navigating modern relationships, because here's the thing: there are legal financial aspects that fall into place when it comes to modern relationships. Marriage law is something that we talk about often here on male-oriented YouTube, specifically Black male-oriented YouTube. Marriage brings legal rights and responsibilities. That includes property rights, inheritance, and spousal support. For example, in a community property state like California or Texas, income earned during the marriage is considered jointly owned, and that can impact the asset division at a divorce. Okay, civil unions often offer some legal benefits of marriage, such as an inheritance and tax benefits, but they're not really recognized everywhere, especially especially when it comes to like federal benefits. Cohabitation agreements clarify how finances and property are handled if the relationship ends, and that protects both parties. For example, if only one of the one of the partners' name is on the mortgage, the agreement can define each person's contribution to the rights. Um, these agreements help to avoid disputes over assets acquired before or during the relationship, and that ensures clarity of ownership. Now, prenup, something I mentioned earlier, they protect significant assets such as businesses or inheritances, and in case there's a divorce that can happen. And with such a high rate of divorce, it's the wise thing to do to get a prenup, even if you don't own anything. Just bet on yourself. So the other thing is, in divorce, assets are divided based on state laws, and that's going to require an equal or equitable division. For example, you work your whole life, you get a retirement savings, you might have to split that, and even if you're the only one who contributed to it. The other thing you have to look out for is alimony, and that may be required. And if there's an income disparity, okay, and more likely than not, if you're the breadwinner, if you're the one who earns the money, um, you're gonna get hit. And then, of course, we all know the C word, the CS, child support. And courts prioritize the child's best interest, which may result in joint or sole custody. A father expecting joint custody might need to contest for a significant role if the state favors maternal custody. And oftentimes that's how they roll. Calculated in child support, of course, is calculated based on income and custody arrangements, and child support can impact the parent's financial planning and stability. So, there's also some social considerations. Okay, there's certain expectations and traditions in certain cultures, and cultural backgrounds shape relationship expectations, such as gender roles, which can lead to conflicts if it's not balanced. And then, of course, there's different communication styles, and that can cause misunderstandings, especially direct and indirect communications. Now, cultural influences on decision making, particularly involving extended family, can challenge the autonomy in a relationship. What I'm saying is, a lot of you fellas who are traveling overseas and you're becoming passport bros, you need to recognize, especially those who are traveling to, uh, let's say, Latin oriented countries, many of them want their parents to move in with them. So you have to keep that in mind. That's the real shocker. A lot of black folks used to do that, but at this point, we oftentimes try to get away. So that can also be a drain on your resources, and it can also cause a strain in the relationship. Now, the other thing that we need to deal with as far as like social considerations when you're looking for someone is addressing mental health. And that's essential in the relationships, as issues like depression can lead to misunderstandings and neglect. You think, or she thinks, you're upset with her, when just reality, you're dealing with some depression. The other thing is mutual emotional support and strengthening. That helps strengthen the relationship, and it helps people cope with stress and other challenges. Okay, a relationship is a job, but you also have life, and you also have your career and all those other things. And so you're gonna need someone, and that's why you need emotional support in a relationship. And some people are just not good with giving it. So mental health issues can strain relationships if they're not addressed. And you want to have open communication, at least or at least seek help when it's crucial. The other thing is, and we're talking about choosing the wrong woman, so I'm laying this foundation first. Okay. Now, what's the impact when you have joint ownership? When we're talking about marital property and laws and financial management, I've already explained that in many community property states, you may have generated the monthly earnings, the yearly earnings, but it's still considered mutual community property. It's marital property. So, in a community property state, shared ownership impacts decisions on spending, saving, and investing, and that requires mutual agreement. In other words, you may want to invest in this, but if you're married to a woman who says, "No, I don't want to do it," part of that is her money, and you may have got it from your job. And the other thing is, in divorce, assets are typically split equally, and that can significantly impact financial stability, and particularly for the primary earner. So there's a rebuttable presumption that all property owned during the marriage is community property, and you have to rebut that with proof, or hopefully you have a pre-designated prenuptial agreement which designates the property. But that's something to consider. The other thing is, divorce often results in, as I said, equitable asset division, which can affect future financial standing and planning. Alimony, may reduce your disposable income, impacting the payer's financial independence post divorce. Okay, so these are all things that you want to consider. Another thing is, when you have a joint account, um, simply joint accounts simplify shared expenses, but they require trust and transparency to avoid conflicts. What if she takes the money that was meant for the house note and the car note, and she goes out and purchases a bag? So, she purchases a four or $5,000 bag, and now you have to come up with the house note. And what do you do about it? What do you do? Not much. You can do, because at least half of it was hers. And the fact of the matter is, if it's in a joint account, it's commingled funds, and so in effect, it's hers, and she didn't do anything illegal. So joint accounts limit financial autonomy, especially if spending habits differ. Okay. Now, when we talk about prenuptial agreements, they protect assets, they clarify financial responsibility, and they provide security in case of divorce. And legal agreements help ensure individual assets remain separate, particularly in community property states. But nothing's ever really certain. So um, when you're dealing with somebody who has misaligned financial priorities, that can slow the progress and cause tension, making unified planning uh, necessary and essential. But alignment on long-term goals like saving for a home or retirement is crucial for relationship stability. And if those things don't match, you got a problem. Okay. If you have somebody who has differing spending habits, that's going to create tension. It's going to hinder financial stability. And, you got to emphasize the need for mutual understanding, but it's only so much you can do. Right now, here's what I'm saying, fellas, and I want y'all to get in tight. Listen up. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. It'd be great if y'all can go ahead and hit that super chat up. I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. I certainly would appreciate that. Shout out to my man who contributed to the Cash App. At least we got one of those fellas in. We talking about money and I can't get none. That's sad. That's sad. But that's all right. I'm gonna keep talking, and y'all gonna keep learning, and y'all gonna feel guilty by the time I get finished with this, because this is a humdinger. Big shout out to Mr. Jackson. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate the Cash App. Here's the thing. If you end up with the wrong type of woman, it will interfere with your money earning, saving, and investing. Now, the quote is it highlights how a woman can significantly impact your life. Okay. Here's the thing. Let's think about it. The wrong partner, the wrong woman may discourage your career opportunities that could otherwise boost your earnings. Here's a scenario, right? If a man is offered a promotion requiring relocation, an unsupportive partner might oppose it. Okay. All right. And what's that going to do? That's going to lead to missed opportunities. You see? And it's going to more likely than not stunt your career. Here's the thing. You want to leave, but she wants to stay because that's where her family is. That's where you met her. But again, her family is more important than the family that you're creating with her. So what do you do about that? Huh? What do you do about that? Shout out to my man Mark the Freelancer. Thank you, fam. What do you do about that? And you married to the woman? Huh? Do you get out the relationship? I don't know what you do, but there are a lot of people who've dealt with that, and there are a lot of people who are suffering the consequences of having a woman who's not on the same page. Okay, again, we are talking about what? We're talking about what happens when you end up with the wrong type of woman and how that interferes with your money making and saving and investing. And so this is crucial business. All right. Let's say you got a woman creating distractions or drama. That hinders your job performance, potentially resulting in loss of promotions or job security. You're up dealing with your woman's drama, whoever she's having drama with, could be drama with you, could be with her sister, could be with family member, neighbors. She's just not someone that's easy to be around. You have a woman with poor spending habits who can drain savings and meant for goals. You trying to save for a car, a house, a 401k. You want to get enough money to put some money in bonds so you don't have to work so hard. And she's out spending it. If a man is trying to save for a house, but his woman is frequently spending money on non-essentials, it becomes nearly impossible to build and save. A woman who overspends on the credit cards, she creates financial burdens that make saving difficult, and also it damages both the woman's credit and your credit. All right, financially incompatible. That can arise from differing views on investing. A risk-averse woman might discourage wealth-building investment, while an overconfident woman might push for risky, more poor financial decisions. You got a woman who doesn't value long-term investments like retirement funds, and she can jeopardize financial security by prioritizing short-term spending. You see? So let's say you got a woman, a man's wealth is being depleted by a woman with uncontrolled spending habits, like leaving him in debt and no financial safety net. These are problems because remember, the law says your money is her money. I want y'all to keep that in mind. See, the unsupportive woman, a man turns down a career advance and promotion due to a woman's refusal to relocate. She doesn't want to leave her mother. She doesn't want to leave her sisters. So what ends up happening to him? She doesn't want to leave her friends. She doesn't want to leave her side dude. Yeah, gotcha. It's true though. And so what does that do? It results in stagnation while you see your friends and your peers at work begin to advance. So choosing a woman who shares your financial values is crucial for building a stable, prosperous future. Financial incompatibility leads to stress, missed opportunities, and potentially financial hardship. So open communication about money early on, making sure you have shared goals, and committing to financial responsibility, they're key to avoiding these pitfalls. And they're key to ensuring that you have a successful relationship. Now, here's the thing: navigating relationships, that's an arduous journey, isn't it? And many men invest time and energy and emotions into finding what they believe is the right woman, and they sincerely think they've made the right choice, only to discover later that they were wrong. And this is the realization that often comes about after years of commitment, sometimes after marriage, and even after children are involved. So consider a man who marries his college sweetheart, right? Or his high school sweetheart. In the early years, everything seems perfect. They share common interests, they enjoy each other's company, and they envision a future together. However, as time passes, subtle differences in values, life goals, and financial habits begin to surface. What once seemed like minor disagreements turn into major conflicts. And after a few years, particularly after the birth of the first child, he realizes his wife's priorities and lifestyle choices are vastly different from his. And she might prioritize social status and appearances, leading to excess spending, while he values financial stability and long-term planning. This disparity creates constant tension, and that's going to lead to arguments and emotional distress. That's going to mess with the money. Somebody type "mess with the money" in the chat room. Shout out to my man Wrench Turner. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. You're the first one to contribute to a super chat. We're trying to get to 20. That'll be plenty. Right now, we only have one, and that ain't many. So I need 19 more super chats, and we'll be where I need to be. But he says, I picked I picked wrong as young man and still somewhat have to deal with that piss poor decision. Brothers, listen up. I'm talking to y'all. I'm telling you the truth. Now, here's the thing. Over time, the true nature of a woman often emerges, and it reveals revealing characteristics that were either hidden or unnoticed during the early stages of the relationship. Because you was blinded by that wop. You understand? You caught up in the young stuff. You know what I mean? You needed that, right? But this can particularly be this can be particularly drawing when it happens after a significant life event like marriage or the birth of your children. Here's an example. A man marries a woman who, during the dating phase, appears to be supportive and understanding of his career ambitions. However, once they are married, she begins to resent the long hours he spends at work. Okay, that's how he's making the money and supporting the family. Now, her initial support turns to demands for more of his time, causing him to struggle with balancing his career and his marriage. Here's the thing you have to understand about men, and if there are some ladies listening, I want you to hear me. Men want to please their women. They want to please the woman that they're with. If you put something on their mind and something is bothering you, they want to try to solve the problem. Oftentimes, when women come to talk to men are solution based, so they'll give her a solution. We want to fix the problem. When in actuality, the ladies just want you to listen. But because, see, if a man truly loves you, ladies, then your problems are his problems. And that's what a true patriarch wants to do. He wants to solve your problems for you. Shout out to DT. Thank you so much, man. I was married 9 years and I filed for divorce after she thought she could put her hands on me. Oh, yeah, see, we would deal with that a little bit. I fought for joint custody of my kids and got slapped with alimony, but I now realize the burden she placed on me. Listen up, fellas. Hey, man, I'm talking to y'all, man. Talking to y'all. But nevertheless, back to that scenario where I was talking about where, the real person becomes exposed. She wants you to work less. She wants more time. And what this is going to do is it creates friction as the man feels torn between fulfilling his professional aspirations and meeting her emotional needs. And over time, her resentment grows, leading to frequent arguments and a strained relationship. The love is lost, right? And he realizes that the person he thought he married is not the person he knows he now sees. And the relationship starts to crumble under the weight of these unmet expectations. You see, and now the love is gone. So here's the thing. I got a statement for you, and I actually saw this posted up. It said there's a difference between a nest egg and a goose egg. And this analogy powerfully illustrates how a woman can either help build a solid financial foundation, i.e. a nest egg, or contribute to financial ruin, a goose egg. The difference lies in the woman's financial habits, attitudes towards money, and overall support in achieving financial goals. Here's an example. A man enters a marriage with a substantial savings account and a clear plan for his financial future. His goal is to invest wisely, build wealth, and eventually retire comfortably. However, his wife has a different approach to the money. She enjoys living in the moment, frequently makes impulsive purchases. Somebody type Birkin bag in the chat room. And she sees no need to save for the future. Despite his efforts to manage their finances, her spending habits quickly deplete their savings when an unexpected financial crisis hits, such as a job loss or a medical emergency. They have no cushion to fall back on. You see? So what could have been a nest egg that provided security and peace of mind turns into a goose egg, leaving them vulnerable and financially unstable. Now they're under the bridge. Somebody type under the bridge in the chat room. Right? And who's going to get blamed for that? The man. Okay? So fellas, allowing the wrong woman into your life, that can set you back mentally, emotionally, and financially for an extended period. And this setback is not just temporary. It can affect your life trajectory for years, if not decades. A man goes through, let's run this down. And this is a scenario that we all hear. A man goes through a difficult divorce. finds himself not only emotionally drained, but also financially devastated. His ex-wife's spending habits combined with the legal costs of the divorce leave him with significant debt. Additionally, the divorce settlement may require him to pay alimony or child support, and that further strains his finances. He may also lose his home or his other assets in the process. As he tries to rebuild his life, he realizes that the financial and emotional toll of marriage has set him back a decade. I lost a decade. I probably lost a decade and a half. And I literally had to start over, start my savings from scratch, rebuild my credit. I had to try to regain the emotional stability that was lost during this tumultuous relationship that I had and the horrible divorce. So I've been there, fellas. I'm talking to you. That's what drove me to the internet. That's why I became a quote unquote black male content creator. You understand? See, here's the thing. The law of power and finance, it should be, okay? There should be one of those, those law of power. This should be the law of power and finance. And understanding understanding the profound impact that choosing the wrong woman can have on your life is a crucial lesson. As men, it's essential to recognize that this decision is not just about love or companionship. Okay, it's a decision that affects every aspect of your life, including your power, your finances, and overall well-being. A successful entrepreneur who built his business from the ground up. This guy decides he wants to marry someone, and on the surface, she seems supportive. Okay. However, right, as the marriage progresses, she becomes increasingly demanding, both emotionally and financially. She insists on living a lifestyle that far exceeds their means, pressuring him to make risky business decisions to accommodate her desires. And over time, the stress of trying to meet her demands while maintaining his business takes its toll. He finds himself making poor financial decisions trying to please this woman. He's taking on debt trying to please her, and ultimately jeopardizing the success of his business. You need your money to run your business. We had that conversation a few days ago. And so this is another example of how the wrong woman has not only affected his personal life, but has also undermined his professional power and financial stability. Look, you can literally go bankrupt messing with the wrong type of woman. Financial ruin is a very real possibility. And when you're involved with someone who doesn't share your financial values or who has poor financial habits, it can happen. Imagine a man who worked hard to build a successful business and he's financially stable. And he has a substantial amount of money in the bank and he's on track to retire early. I'm out of here at 45. And then he meets a woman. And at first it seems like she's perfect, right? But as the relationship progresses, she begins to exhibit extravagant spending habits. She's constantly purchasing designer clothes. She wants luxury cars. She wants to go on expensive vacations, far beyond what is sustainable, even with his income. Despite his attempts to rein in her spending, she continues leading him to dip into his savings and even take out loans to finance her lifestyle. And over time, the financial strain becomes too much, and he finds himself bankrupt with his business in jeopardy and looking low and feeling bad. All the financial security he worked his whole life for, wiped out by the wrong woman. Okay? So attaching to the wrong female can seriously derail your life. Fellas, it's not worth it. The poontang is not worth it. That kitty cat is not worth it. Because the impact of being with the wrong woman extends far beyond your finances. It can affect every aspect of your life, from your mental to your overall happiness and even your future hopes and dreams. Consider a man who is passionate about his career and has clear goals for his future. He always has been driven and optimistic about what he can achieve. That's some of you, okay? But then he enters into a relationship with a woman who is constantly negative. She's constantly critical. She's unsupportive, right? Nag. And then he begins to doubt himself. And her lack of encouragement and her constant complaints just drain his energy and his enthusiasm. And next thing you know, he finds himself losing focus at work, feeling more stressed and less motivated. The relationship takes a toll on his mental health, and that leads to anxiety and depression. And his once bright, optimistic future looks uncertain, feels uncertain, and he's lost his drive and his confidence due to this toxic relationship with this woman that he probably should have done without. And so over time, he realizes, I got the wrong woman. And that derailed his life. And that left him far from where he intended to be. He lost his Eden, fooling with that woman. Your peace of mind and happiness are at stake, brothers. A toxic relationship can erode your peace of mind and jeopardize your health and steal your happiness. Picture this, as they say in New Orleans. Picture this, a man leads a healthy, balanced life. He exercises regularly. He eats well. He has a positive outlook. And after starting a relationship with this fine chick who thrives on drama and chaos, some of y'all know her. Somebody type drama queen in the chat room. Somebody type drama queen in the chat room, right? So after starting a relationship with this woman, who thrives on drama, he's stressed. He's constantly stressed to the edge. Her unpredictable behavior, emotional outbursts, manipulative tactics, it creates an environment of constant tension. He starts losing sleep. His diet worsens. He's no longer has the energy to exercise. The stress begins to manifest in physical symptoms, headaches, high blood pressure, and even weight gain. His friends and family notice that he is no longer the happy, vibrant person he once was. The relationship is taking a severe toll on his health and his well-being, all because he allowed the wrong woman in his life. Shout out to my man, Black Wall Street. Praise God. Love you, Uncle D. Love you too, brother. You a bad ML. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Somebody say, yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, so these are real life scenarios. Here's another thing, right? What about your children? Do you want to see stress? Maybe you escape with divorce, but what about your children? Look, when you have children, the stakes are even higher. The wrong woman can have a detrimental effect on your children's lives, impacting their emotional and psychological development. Can you imagine the wrong woman raising your children? Some of y'all are living that right now, aren't you? Yeah. Imagine a man who has a child from a previous relationship. He meets a woman who seems loving and caring at first, but over time, she starts showing signs of jealousy and resentment towards the child. She might make the child feel unwelcome and treat them unfairly, or even try to drive a wedge between the man and his child. This creates a toxic environment. And this deeply affects the child, leading to emotional issues, behavioral problems, and a strained relationship with his father. And the man realizes too late that by choosing the wrong woman, he's not only compromised his own happiness, but he's also his well-being of his child. And his child is his legacy. See? The child is his legacy. If you don't do a good job of raising your children, nothing else really matters. You understand? I just want y'all to understand that. I tell you guys all the time, the most important thing you produce are your children. Shout out to the fellas that gave me 3 super chats, man. I'm trying to get 20. I got 3. I need 17 more. Y'all make sure y'all pay me for my time. I'm going to keep on rolling because I think this is important. If you guys think this is important, man, type important in the chat room, right? Type important in the chat room. If you think this conversation is enjoyable, you can have everything set up. You're ambitious. You did that. You went to school. You got the entrepreneur, and then you end up with the wrong woman. Let's begin to put as much thought into the women we choose as to where we purchase a house or the universities we attend. You put more, I hate to say this, man, but oftentimes we put more decision making into a domino game than the women we choose. Just think about that. At least in the domino game, you got to figure out. You got to figure out what's on that person's hand, what they got, what they thinking about, what they gonna do. With a woman, all she got to do is have a cute smile, big butt, and be halfway cooperative, and she's gone with you. And if she hangs around long enough, you get her pregnant, you knock her up. Might as well go get married, right? Shout out to Lance Jackson. And see, here's the cold part about it, and the brothers understand what I'm talking about. Your freedom and your life online. Your freedom and your life online when you choose the wrong type of woman, because it can lead to situations that are risky to your freedom and your life. Consider this: brother gets involved with this chick, right, who has a history of volatile relationships. Shout out to my man Brandon Johnson, and she's known for being a drama queen and escalating conflicts. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you haven't dated one, you got a cousin like that. You got a relative. Your mom might be like that. But see, here's the thing. His arrogance and his ego make him believe he can handle it, right? You're going to alpha her in the cooperate. You're going to alpha her in the cooperate. You got it, right? All right? But as the relationship progresses, her behavior becomes increasingly erratic. She may make false accusations. Hello? She may call the police during arguments. Hello? Or she might provoke you into a situation where you're forced to defend yourself, and then you still go to jail. You're an accountant. You're a plumber. You're an electrician. You're a doctor. You're a lawyer. You have accumulated all this education and gone through all these processes and to get these degrees, and you end up locked up because some woman made a false accusation. That's the wrong type of woman. And see, in the worst case scenario, her actions could lead to legal trouble with you facing charges based on her accusations. Alternatively, her behavior could attract dangerous situations, such as confrontations with other men, right? That you have to step between her and that danger, and you have to put your life at risk. And in this case, staying with the wrong woman has dire consequences, threatening not just your peace of mind, but your freedom and your safety. You all been with you know I'm telling the truth. You know darn well I'm telling y'all the truth, especially you brothers, especially all you brothers from Detroit, Chicago, Oakland, Atlanta, okay, in the Bronx. I don't want to single out the Bronx, but I'm gonna say the Bronx, okay, just because you know how they are. All right, and I'm using those names for emphasis, but you know how they are. Shout out to the Bronx. Now, the other thing is, let's talk about these super consumers. Okay, somebody says story of my life. Bless your heart, brother. He said story of my life. All right, the contractor. But some of y'all over there swinging at the air and having flashbacks. Right? Oh Lord, you're getting hit right now. But we got to keep it 100 with each other. And if nothing else, we're just gonna drill this until it's set in stone and you guys understand. Shout out to Matt Newland. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm gonna read all your super chats in a minute. But let's talk about the super consumer, a woman who's obsessed with material wealth and showing off her status can be a significant red flag, especially for a man who values financial security and long-term wealth business. So you got a woman whose closet is filled with designer clothes, luxury handbags, and high-end jewelry. She's always focused on keeping up appearances, making sure she's seen in the most expensive restaurants, driving the most expensive luxury cars, and living in the most prestigious neighborhood. Now, this might seem glamorous at first, but it quickly becomes clear that her spending is out of control. She's not satisfied with the comfort and security that wealth can bring. Instead, she has a deep-seated need to display her wealth, regardless of the cost. And this behavior can attract unwanted attention. It leads to jealousy. It leads to her being targeted for theft and possibly violence. Moreover, her insatiable desire to flaunt her wealth could lead to financial ruin as she pressures you to spend beyond your means to keep up with her lifestyle. You understand? The other thing is these scenarios that I'm running through y'all, that I'm telling y'all, in these modern times with these women who are making money, and I know there's a few ladies listening, it's not just applying to women. See, this doesn't just apply to women. Here's another thing. It also applies to friends. It also applies to family. They can also cause for you to go bankrupt. See, the reality is that toxic relationships aren't just limited to romantic relationships. Friends, family members who are financially irresponsible, who are manipulative or overly dependent, they can cause you significant harm to your financial and emotional well-being. Imagine you have a brother or sister who constantly borrows money from you, promising to pay it back, but never does. They might ask you for help with the bills and the rent or even some business venture that never pans out. And they pull on your heartstrings, especially if they have a niece or nephew, and you want to make sure the niece and the nephew has a place to live. And then you have pressure from other family members telling you how you're supposed to help them because you're the one with the money. You're the one that made it, so you got to help everybody else make it. Otherwise, you get socially ostracized for the family. And you know the saying, he think he better than us, right? And so you help them out of a sense of obligation and guilt, and you continue to lend them money, hoping that this time they'll get their act together. However, as time goes on, you realize that your financial stability is being eroded by their constant requests because they never pay it back. It's some of y'all owed money by relatives right now. You'll never see it. Don't loan your mama money. What? You might as well be dumping it in a bottomless pit. You'll never see it. And see, this is money that you could have invested or saved or built your own future, right? But it got funneled into somebody else's endless needs. And eventually you find yourself in debt. You're unable to meet your own financial obligations because you've given so much money to help family members that you don't have it. This is a classic example of how even family can bankrupt the hell out of you, right? You understand? So here's the thing. There's a toll that you have to pay when you're dealing with with the wrong woman. All right. There's a toll that you have to pay, particularly with somebody who brings constant stress and anxiety to your life. And I'm giving you guys a lot of scenarios because these are real life scenarios that really happen. So you got a cat in his 30s. He's in a relationship with a woman who demands constant attention and validation. She's never satisfied. She's never happy with what he provides, always wants more. Whether it's material things or time or emotional energy, her relentless demands and drama that she creates lead to constant arguments, late night fights, and emotional manipulation. Now, the first thing you need to recognize in this situation is she doesn't like you like that. If she's making all these demands upon you, she doesn't really like you. She's making you pay her to be there. But the thing is, the stress begins to take its toll on your health. You begin to lose sleep. Your hair begins to thin and turn gray prematurely. You develop high blood pressure. You have frequent headaches, migraines. It becomes such a regular part of your life, you popping Tylenol and Advil like Tic Tacs. It makes it difficult for you to focus on anything productive. So your performance begins to start. Don't be in sales. Don't be an entrepreneur. So what ends up happening? You're missing out on promotions, you're missing out on sales, and now you're looking at financial instability. The relationship not only drains you, fella, but it also affects your ability to make money. And without money, what? You have no power, because power, your money is your power. Your money is your voice. Your money is the lifeblood of power. Here's the thing, man. This is not a new concept. Not at all. The idea that choosing the wrong woman can ruin your life is not something new. It's been well known. It's been the truth for generations. And that's evidence, by financial experts, even religious texts. I'm sure you guys know some religious texts off top, but if you remember, well, you probably won't remember, but there's a famous billionaire named Warren Buffett. He's one of the most successful investors of all time. And he's often spoke about the importance of choosing the right woman. He said that who you marry, and I'm paraphrasing, but who you marry is the most important decision you'll ever make because it affects everything in your life, from your happiness to your financial success. Similarly, a gentleman named Napoleon Hill, in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, he warned about the dangers of being with the wrong woman. He discusses how the wrong relationship can destroy man's ambition, his drive, and ultimately his success. Even the Bible speaks to the importance of choosing women wisely and cautioning against relationships that can lead one astray from their path and purpose. These timeless pieces of advice underscore the fact that consequences of choosing the wrong woman are serious and long lasting. Now, here's the thing. We are all recovering simps, aren't we? Come on. The first couple of years of my broadcast, I would always tell you guys about your Queen Mother Goddess simp chips, and you still have them. They still turn on. All right. So the beta male simps, and that's us to a certain degree. We're doing our best. But the thing is that we obviously ignore the obvious signs of the wrong woman. And despite knowing the risk, some men choose to stay in toxic relationships or initiate or remain in toxic relationships because they're blinded by love, or they feel too emotionally invested in to leave. And these men often are labeled beta males or simps, and rightly so, because they allow their emotions to override their logical judgment, staying in relationships that are clearly not in their best interest. Here we go. You got a man who's deeply in love with a woman who consistently disrespects him. Lord, you ain't gonna be nothing. Rah. With your rah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She belittles his ambitions, controls his every move, and drains his finances. He can't go anywhere. But he stays because he's convinced that he loves her. Somebody type love in the chat room. He loves her, right? And she'll eventually change. He's going to love her till she changes, right? Doesn't that sound like a wonderful romance novel that somebody came up with in the 1980s? He's going to love her despite herself. He's going to love her he's going to help heal her with his love. Now, his friends and family, they see the red flags and they warn him, but, oh no, he dismisses their concerns, thinking that they don't understand his situation. He tells himself, but I love her though, ignoring the obvious signs that this relationship is toxic. Over time, his self-esteem plummets. His financial situation worsens. He loses respect from those people who are around him. And by allowing his emotions to control his decision, he sacrifices his well-being and his future for a relationship that's clearly detrimental. I need another 14 super chats. I know I'm preaching to somebody out there. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. If I'm talking to you and you've been through any of these scenarios, raise your hand and say me. Type me if you heard your name unspoken mentioned in these scenarios. I know I'm talking to somebody. Here's the thing. Never do business with a man whose relationship you don't respect. And this piece of advice is critical. And see, other people are looking at you. When I said that the people around you lose respect, it's the people around you that are going to help make you rich. It's the people around you that are going to say, yeah, I support that guy and what he's trying to do. They're going to patronize your business. I don't do business with men whose relationship I don't respect. If a man is in a toxic relationship, it can affect his judgment, his reliability, and other areas of life, including business. He's not even in his right mind. Imagine you consider going into business, doing a partnership where you tied at the hip with a man who's in a highly volatile, toxic relationship. His woman is controlling, she's manipulative, and she's constantly causing drama in his life because this relationship, because of it, he's often distracted. He's stressed. He's unable to focus on business. And you notice that he's making poor decisions. He's missing deadlines. He's not fulfilling his responsibility. He's not picking up and carrying his end. It's his toxic relationship spilling over into your business dealings. And then you start to realizing that that working with him, partnering with him was a mistake. The business suffers. The business suffers because of his inability to manage his personal life, leading to financial losses and damaged reputation. And this takes you down. Shout out to King Fred. We need another 13 super chat. This is an example that highlights why it's crucial to avoid doing business with someone whose personal life is in disarray due to a toxic relationship. You might as well go into business with a crackhead. If you're dealing with somebody who has a personal life that's in disarray, you just go on ahead and find your crackhead off the street and make them your partner. That you might as well do that. It's going to be the same result. Some men, and here's the crazy part about it. Some men, even after dealing with this, they don't know how to recover from this type of mistake. They repeat it over and over again. Shout out to Quantum Solace. For those who made the mistake of being in a toxic relationship, the road to recovery is long and difficult. Many of you all are dealing with that. It's not impossible. And there are steps that can be taken to regain control. But damn, right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. All right? We're going to talk about that a little bit more. The main points, though, of this conversation is this. We have modern relationships, and they come in various forms. They got traditional, they have cohabitation, and each of these present a unique challenge. You have the impact, financial impact. The wrong woman can harm your financial stability, affecting your earning and your savings and your investment. And then, of course, there are legal concerns, even with marriage, cohabitation, prenups. That's and they have significant legal implications, especially regarding property division. Disagreements over money can cause tension, and it can impact financial goals. A financially dependent woman can strain resources, limiting the ability to save and invest. It's her money too. So choosing the wrong woman can lead to prolonged financial, mental, emotional setback. Excessive spending on luxury items, that's a sign of financial incompatibility. And risking financial security, that's what that is. And again, as I said earlier, these issues apply to relationships, not just romantic ones, but also friends and family. A toxic relationship can lead to stress, health problems, and reduced financial productivity. The importance of choosing the right woman is a theme in history and business and religion. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. You guys, make sure you get me 12 more super chats. I'm going to take a quick break and take a sip of this water here. And I want you guys to ponder on what was discussed. Everybody in the replay gang, y'all hit the number 1 button now. And then I'll be right back. But y'all hit the number 1 button. This is Uncle D. I'll be right back. Have pride in yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's the other thing. Don't let this world keep kicking you and making you feel like you're not good enough. You plenty. I don't care if you're 10 pounds, 50 pounds overweight, 30 pounds underweight. You don't make enough money. You make too much money. You're too tall. You're too short. You're perfect the way you are. And I want you brothers to begin to take that. A lot of you guys did not have father figures to reinforce these things in you. You don't have that manly fatherly love supporting you in the back of your head saying, son, you can go out there, the world is yours. I'm not your father's, but I love you like I'm your own uncle. We all one people. And so I'm telling you, brothers, I love you as a person that most people would say is successful. I'm telling you, the opportunity is out there, and most of you guys are doing much better than I was at your age. You're more confident. You got the world. You got the benefit of people like me who've made mistakes, and I want to see you ball. That's it.
Brother Spurling. Brother Spurling met his fiance in my mixed group, and she was doing her thing, Ivy League educated, beautiful sister. He's a successful attorney. Now he's like, shh, that's my wife. I'm gonna put her through law school, and she's gonna become an attorney at my practice. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I want to call you back to the sister that called into my show who said, when I first listened to you, I didn't like you.
All right. Welcome back. How we doing? You guys in here? Hit the number 1 button. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. We got 9, and we about halfway through. I should have about 11 right now, but that's all right. I want to get to 20, and that'll be plenty. But shout out to Tori and Jones. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all not being cheap with Uncle D. I've spent a lot of time, especially these. These are difficult because you can't really find this information anywhere. Okay. So we just went over some of the main points about what happens when you choose the wrong woman, right? And how that'll destroy your life and your legacy, okay? So what we're gonna do at this point, because we are a solution-based broadcast over here in these Blizzard King streets, and so what we want to do at this time is we want to learn how to spot the red flags early. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the type of women being discussed, right? And we understand they can have a detrimental impact on your life, both financially and emotionally. Okay, and she's often described as someone who is self-centered, materialistic, manipulative, and emotionally draining. And spotting the red flags early on can help you avoid entering a relationship that could lead to financial ruin, stress, and unhappiness. And so here's how we spot some of these characteristics. Okay, and let's start with the most obvious: materialistic tendencies. She has an obsession with luxury status symbols. What are the characteristics of this woman? She's frequently talks about brand names, luxury items, and social status. Her happiness seems to be tied to material possessions. She might judge others based on their wealth or what they can provide for her. And this type of woman is more interested in what you can buy for her than in building a life together. Example, if she constantly is pressuring you to buy her expensive gifts and upgrade her lifestyle or flaunt wealth, this is a sign that she values material things over relationships itself. Okay. Another red flag. Okay. And we're talking about protecting wealth, right? She has excessive spending habits, lack of financial discipline, reckless spending. She has a habit of spending money carelessly on non-essential items and expects you to fund her lifestyle. She may max out her credit cards on shopping sprees, expensive dinners, luxury vacations, with little regard for financial consequences. So here's the thing. If she doesn't have a clear understanding of budgeting or saving, and if her spending habits seem to be more about impressing others than about necessity, it's clear. It's a clear indication that she could be a financial liability. That's a red flag. You're supposed to turn and run. All right. Emotional manipulation. And here's one you're dealing with all the time. She uses guilt or pressure or drama to get what she wants. She can't get what she wants, so she makes a scene and you give in. It's like dealing with a child. And this type of woman often uses emotional manipulation to control a relationship. She might guilt trip you into doing things you're uncomfortable with, create drama to divert attention from her flaws. Okay? Or, as I said, use emotional outbursts as a way to get her way. If she frequently cries, throws tantrums, or makes you feel like you're always in the wrong, especially when you're trying to set boundaries or discuss important matters like finances, this is a sign of emotional manipulation. She's a gaslighter. You might as well put a flame to her booty hole and get some light out of that. All right. The other thing is, shout out to Ray Alexander. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate it. We got 10. We need to get 20. We almost there. Get 20, that's plenty. The other thing is, if you have a woman who she has an inability to handle criticism or responsibility, okay? Accountability, as we call it, responsibility. She's defensiveness and blame shifting. Where have you heard that before? She can't handle criticism. She often deflects responsibility for her actions on to other people, anybody. The kids did it. My mama did it. Oh, I wasn't treated right as a child. If confronted about her behavior, she might become defensive or try to turn the table. What about you? Trying to make you feel as though you're the one at fault. If she never takes responsibility for her mistakes and always has an excuse or someone else to blame, this is a major red flag. And this behavior can lead to unresolved conflicts and a lack of accountability in a relationship. And it's not your job to try to change these women, fellas. You have to leave them. You have to turn and walk away. All right? Now, what about the woman that's overly dependent on you financially? It may sound good in the first, like, right, but here she's reluctant to contribute financially or work towards self-sufficiency. If you have a woman and you've never seen her spend any money on you at all, she's overly dependent on you financially, and that's a red flag. If she relies heavily on you for financial support and shows little interest in becoming financially independent, it's not like she's broke and working towards having her own money. She just, you're it. This is the type of woman that's going to quit her job after entering into a relationship. Okay? She may never even have a job to begin with. You have a child and she quits her job forever. She expects you to take care of her financial needs, often without contributing anything. If she's not working or contributing financially, has no plans to change that, yet she continues to expect financial support from you, it's a clear sign that she's financially dependent and not interested in a balanced relationship. I'm giving you, somebody type free game in the chat room. Somebody type free game in the chat room. I'm giving it all to you. Now, what about these women who are control freaks? She desires control no matter what. She attempts to control every aspect of your life, wants to separate you from your friends. Every time you want to go hang out with your friends, she says something bad because she doesn't want them to have any control over you. From finances to your social interactions, she wants control. She may try to control how you spend your money, who you interact with, and how you live your life. And this desire for control often stems from insecurity and a need to dominate the relationship. Shout out to all the folks who contributed to the Cash App. Thank you so much. If she's dictating how you should spend money, your money, isolating you from friends and family, or making decisions for you without your input, this is a strong indicator that she's more interested in control than in a healthy, equal relationship. Here's the thing. She shows a lack of genuine interest in your well-being. This is tricky and this is going to be painful. She's indifferent to your needs, your goals, your overall well-being. She don't come, you sick and she doesn't come visit you in the hospital. I mean, that's as obvious as you can get. She's uninterested in your personal goals, ambitions. Every time you start telling her about what your game plans are, she's rolling over, going to sleep. Or she's going to the mall. Or I'll talk to you when I get back. Or she said, okay, I'll call you in a minute. The only time she's interested in your goals and ambitions is when it directly benefits her. This type of woman is focused on what she can gain from the relationship rather than how she can support you. And if she only shows interest in your career or personal life when it benefits her, or if she dismisses your concerns and needs, this indicates a lack of genuine care and respect for you as an individual. You need to leave. You need to get out of there. It's time to go. And here's another one. And you're going to learn, and you all can't lie to me, because if you sit and listen to a woman long enough, she'll tell you all her business. And this one is the main one. You learn this on the first interaction at the first date, that first 3-4 hour conversation where you think you talking up on her, she dropping all this emotional baggage on you. The history of her relationships. When a woman has a history of unstable relationships, multiple past relationships with a pattern of instability and conflict, somebody type conflict in the chat room. Every time you talk about relationships, she talk about what this boyfriend did to her as far as oops upside your head. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want YouTube to demonetize this. But every relationship she has, she get oopsed upside the head. Oops upside of everybody. Then she has a history of unstable relationships. That's a pattern of conflict. That's a pattern of instability. She has a history of turbulent relationships, often marked by conflict, breakups, and drama. Somebody type drama. She may speak negatively about her ex, right? Blaming him or them for the relationship failures, and will never acknowledge her own role. If she and shout out to did I get you Quantum Solid? Thank you so much, fam. Make sure you get you, and shout out to, I'm gonna get my Cash App guys in a minute, but listen now. If she's always talking about how crazy and terrible her exes were, you need to notice a pattern. She's addicted to short, intense relationships, if that's what's in her past. And this is a sign that she's going to bring instability to your relationship and to your life. And you don't need that. You don't need that. You need to learn to spot these red flags early on. And it's crucial to avoiding the wrong type of woman who can negatively affect your life. By being aware of these warning signs and trusting your instincts, as opposed to letting your instincts be overridden by you're growing. You understand what I'm saying, fellas? Right? By being aware of the signs, you'll be able to make better decisions about who you allow into your life. Because see, fellas, remember, you are the gatekeepers to the relationship. Women are gatekeepers to sex, but you're the gatekeeper to the relationship. And I say relationship because many people say marriage, but you know, you can hit and move, you can stick and move and never see the woman again. If you stay around, you have a relationship. If you decide not to, you know, you don't have to. So you're the final arbiter of that. So you're the decision maker. And you know, a healthy relationship should be one built on mutual respect, support, and shared values, not manipulation, not financial dependence or control. So choosing the right woman is essential for your long-term happiness, financial stability, and overall well-being. Now, some of y'all been here before, right? How do you rebound financially from the wrong woman? How do you repair your relationship, your reputation? How do you do that? And we need 8 more super chats. I need 8 more super chats. How do we do that? Some men don't know how to recover from this mistake. And for those of you who've made the mistake of being in a toxic relationship, the road to recovery can be difficult. However, it's not impossible. There are steps that can be taken to regain control of your life. For example, a man who's recently ended a toxic relationship might find himself struggling to rebuild his life, his finances, Shout out to Carlton Ward. Thank you so much, fam. Shout out to for that 100. I appreciate you, fam. You get a little rock and roll. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me finish this. This is for you, Carlton. I'm gonna put a song on a little later on, man. I'm gonna dedicate it to you since you gave the highest donation. But let me give it. How do you recover? This is what we talking about. How do you recover? You got a bad relationship, a toxic relationship. You find yourself struggling to rebuild your life. Your finances are in shambles. Your health is deteriorating. You feel emotionally drained. To recover, you need to start taking back control of your finances. And this might mean creating a budget, paying off debts, setting new financial goals. You might also need to seek therapy or counseling to work through the emotional trauma and rebuild your self-esteem. Those friends that she alienated you from, that lost respect for you, you need to reconnect with supportive friends and family, focusing on your career and gradually rebuilding your life. Those are crucial steps in the recovery process. It's a challenging journey, but with determination and the right support, it's possible to bounce back and even emerge stronger. All right, I did. Now, rebounding financially and repairing your reputation. After being involved with the wrong woman, it's challenging, but again, it's achievable. It requires a combination of strategic financial planning, personal development, and reputation management. Let's do a step-by-step guide on how we can rebuild our life. All right, let's start with let's assess the financial damage. You need to sit back and you need to take stock of your situation. The first step is get a clear picture of your financial situation. You need to pull all your credit card statements, pull your bank accounts. You need to review all your accounts, your debts, your assets, your liabilities. You need to run your credit report, because if you're dealing with that type of woman, you don't know what she's done. But what this will do is, once you do that assessment, it'll give you a baseline from which you can start recovery. They'll develop a realistic budget that accounts for your current income and expense. You might have to cut some cable, cut some amenities. Instead of going to LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness, your favorite gym, you might have to work out in the park. You need to identify areas where you can cut costs to free up money for paying down debt and rebuilding savings. If you've accumulated debt, prioritize it based on interest rates and urgency. You got that car that you bought her that she ran off with an 8-9% interest. You need to pay that off first. You can deal with those credit cards with the 2-3% interest later. You need to focus on paying off high interest debt first, as this is going to reduce the amount you pay over time in the long run. Okay? The other thing you need to do is rebuild financial stability. Begin setting aside money in an emergency fund. Aim for at least 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. And this fund will provide financial cushion in case of unexpected expenses. What is that going to do? That's going to lower the temperature in your head. That's going to make you less stressed out, because you got a little safety net. You got rid of the wrong woman. She's gone. And now you got a little safety net. Now, another thing you can do is begin to make it easier so you have less to think about. Because remember, you're dealing with a lot of post-traumatic stress from the drama that you had to deal with in that relationship. So the less you have to think about, the better. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account. And that will ensure that you're consistently setting money aside. Even if it's a small amount, $25 a week, $10 a day. You see? Now, once your emergency fund is in place, start investing in low risk, high yield opportunities that align with your long-term goals. This can include stock, bonds, real estate, depending on your risk tolerance and your financial knowledge. And what else is that going to do? Now you'll be able to see some progress. That's going to lower the temperature. That's going to lower your stress level. The other thing you most likely have to go do, you got to repair your credit score. Because when you're dealing with this woman who spent money you didn't have, your credit score is probably shot. You down there, golly, could be down there in the 200s, the 300s. And one of the fastest ways to improve your credit score is by paying all your bills on time. Late payments can have a significant negative impact on your credit rating. So try to keep your credit card balances low, ideally under 30% of your credit limit. And paying down credit card debt can quickly improve your credit score. Regularly check your credit report for errors or signs of identity theft and correct any inaccuracies by disputing them with the credit bureaus. Those of you who need an attorney, I know a good attorney who deals with credit. Feel free to contact me at my office at 713-229-0770. I'll definitely connect you with them. Okay? So credit. Next up, you got to rebuild your reputation because everybody's looking at you like a sucker, a simp, a beta male, right? So if your reputation has been damaged, the first step is to acknowledge your mistakes. Take responsibility. This shows maturity and a willingness to learn from your experiences. 9 times out of 10, if you accept responsibility for what you've done, for your mistakes, for your poor judgment, most people will give you another chance. Now, if you have a history of making poor judgments, people will eventually write you off. But if you apologize, if you accept responsibility, people can look the other way. All right. If the relationship you were in brought negative attention to your public displays of conflict and crazy stuff, it's crucial that you distance yourself, from that situation, number one. And this involves just straight up cutting ties with people and toxic individuals and people who trigger you. Just remove yourself from the circle. If they don't support your growth, just get away from them. Life is too short. The other thing is focus on actions that can positively impact how others perceive you. And this includes engaging in community service, supporting causes you're about, sharing your expertise in public, forms like social media, blog. You see? And you can publicize it. Put you working at the, animal shelter or something like that, right? People begin to see you in a different light. The other thing is you need to surround yourself with people who have a strong reputation and positive influence. Networking with people who are respected in the community or a certain industry, that can help you repair your image by association. You are who you hang around. The other thing is, focus on your personal development. Recovering from a toxic relationship takes a toll on your mental and emotional health. So consider, seeing a therapist or a counselor. There's nothing wrong with it. I've seen a therapist and a counselor before. And oftentimes there's a underlying reason why you were willing to tolerate that toxic relationship in the first place. Many of you men have mother issues, and you have a space carved out that tolerates women like that, and you deep down want to repair the damaged mother, and you find a woman who's similar to her, and you try to repair her. And that's just a sign that you need to seek some mental therapy, because somebody needs to tell you that. I can't tell you that. I'm a lawyer. I may have experienced it myself, right? You got a history of being with narcissistic women who are emotionally abusive, who are manipulative and controlling. Maybe you need to check your mom out. Maybe you need a therapist who can tell you that, and you can say, oh, wow, now I need to change my habits now that I know. Okay? You should also consider seeing a therapist, a counselor, to work through any, for personal development. And that also includes building resilience and learning from your past experiences. All right? The other thing you need to do is you need to redefine your personal and professional goals. Focus on what you want to achieve for the next few years. Develop and plan to get there. I decided that I wanted to make rap albums. You see what I mean? And the reason that I wanted to make rap albums, because when I was in my 20s and I met my first wife, I used to sit at the table and just write down rap songs. And she had a problem with that. She thought it was a waste of time. And so I stopped doing it, you know? And that was just my way of blowing off steam. Really wasn't hurting anybody. I'm just sitting at the at the kitchen table writing rap. Shout out to man Quantum Solace. We need 7 more super chats to get me to 20. So I'm sitting there, but she said, no, I didn't like it. So she didn't like it. Okay, cool. That's how controlling some women can be. So after I got divorced, I decided, what, not only am I going to write little rap songs, I'm going to put together 6 studio albums with Beans and Cornbread. You guys can go to Esquire Entertainment, which is my YouTube page, and check it out. Go over there and see. If you listen to the lyrics, I go through and through and through, and I talk about a lot of the stuff, a lot of my development. Big shout out to Crimson Cure. You go ahead and go, girl. The Crimson Cure is bringing it. She's bringing the heat. If I'm bringing the cold, she's bringing the heat. She has a cookout over there 2-3 times a day. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Keep up the good work. But nevertheless, fam, setting and working towards these new goals, it gives you a sense of direction and purpose. Other thing, educate yourself on personal finance, understanding how to manage your money, invest wisely, and avoid financial pitfalls. This is key to rebuilding your life after that setback. The other thing is, you need to reconnect with supportive friends and family. The one thing that happens in these toxic relationships is they love to separate you from the people that you love because they want to be the center focus of your attention. And so what they will do is separate you from them, and now you have no support system. They'll begin to bring their friends around and isolate you from your friends. That's what toxic people do. Okay? Right? But see, here's the thing. You need to take time to reconnect with those supportive friends and family members who can provide encouragement and advice to help you rebuild. If your relationship affected others, such as family or business associates, be open and honest about your efforts to improve and make amends. Transparency can help rebuild trust. I had a goddaughter that I loved when I met my first wife. I had actually met my goddaughter, who was an adopted little girl, who was abandoned in a hospital when she was about 5 or 6 years old. Now, I had met her through a woman who I had a little brief relationship with. I think it lasted like 2 weeks. I was in law school, and I was back home in LA. I went to visit. We went out a couple of times. Nevertheless, my ex-wife just was totally against it, even though it had been years since, I'd even seen the woman. The bottom line, she didn't approve. And so what ended up happening was, because I was trying to please the woman, remember, fellas, I told you that as men, we are biologically wired to try to please our women. And that's why I tell you guys, all women have to do is be cooperative and halfway appealing and do some cooking and cleaning. And, for the most part, any man any hardwired man is pretty much putty in their hands, based on irrespective of who he is, how much money he makes, or whatever. That's why you see these women who may not be the most beautiful, as we call them, women. They got great guys. They got rich guys. But bottom line is, I, had to be transparent with my goddaughter and her family. And I explained to them the reason that I had to separate myself is because, my ex-wife at that time, didn't approve. And, I learned from that, Now, the other thing is, as you move forward, it's important to set clear boundaries in your personal and professional life. And this is going to protect you from falling into similar situations in the future. And it's going to help you maintain a healthy balance. You don't want to be a repeat offender. The other thing is, if your career was impacted, now it's time to refocus on your professional development. Consider further education, certifications, or training that can enhance your skills and marketability. The year I got divorced, I enrolled in the Texas Southern University graduate school program. I worked on my master's degree in biology. I finished that. I think it took a year. I worked on a PhD in environmental toxicology and a PhD in environmental planning. So I was basically working on all three of these degrees at the same time. And I was probably about 13 or 14 hours short from actually getting to the point where I could write my dissertation. And, the law called me back. And so I ended up doing that. But that's one of the things I did. Other thing is I began to um, really just dig into the practice of law. And now I've gotten to the point where I'm literally a Hall of Fame attorney, according to the Southern University Law Center, which to me is a great honor. And it should be to a lot of attorneys. If your law school decides that they want to hang you on the wall for the hundreds and thousands of students that'll see it over the next decade, 2 decades, centuries, or whatever, depending, that's a big honor. So that's what I did. So I did it, and you can do it too. All right, at work or in your business, focus on delivering consistent, high quality results. This will help rebuild your professional reputation over time. Now, the one thing I did do, I worked. I never stopped working. I stayed hustling. I stayed on my grind. So keep that in mind, okay? Also, find a mentor who can guide you through the rebuilding process and can be invaluable. A mentor who can offer advice, support, and perspective as you work to regain your footing. I got a homeboy, and he's like my big brother. Now, he's about 5'2". He's a Q dog. And we met one day at the park back in 2015. It was December 2015. I met him in the park, and we just hit it off. His name is Keith. He makes he makes about $1 million a month. He makes $1 million a month selling adult diapers around the nation. Black brother. You walk by him, wouldn't notice him. You would walk by him and would not notice him at all. $1 million a month. Okay, drives a brand new pickup truck, has a nice house. He was married to a woman from Louisiana. They got divorced. Kids all grown. Back in 2015, I met him at the park. We decided to go hang out. I said, man, where you going? I normally hang out in the DR. He said, I go to Columbia. First time I went to Columbia, man, I went down there, had a great time. He was actually had been hanging out there for years, and he was starting to settle down a little bit. He found a woman, eventually got her papers, and she came up here. So he's married now. But the bottom line is, talking to that brother, having gone through the same thing I went through, at that time he was 50, I was like 39, 40. And man, I learned so much from him. So I had a mentor too, little short Q dog. Shout out to the bros out there. Shout out to the bros. Look, I know you all folks who are not members of these Greek letter fraternities, you think we don't get along, but the truth is, it's a lot of camaraderie and brotherhood. So yeah, shout out to the Qs. And you got a lot of brilliant people in there and other black men with experiences that are similar to yours. And so, man, I'm like, yeah, and that was really helpful. It helped me realize, number one, I wasn't the only one dealing with it. Now, here's the thing, okay? Moving forward, be cautious with your relationship. Take time to reflect on what went wrong in your previous relationship and what red flags you missed. Because the red flags were there. You just didn't see them. Shout out to Urban Eagle. We need 5 more super chats. Use this knowledge to make better decisions in your future. And when considering new relationships, focus on finding a woman who shares your values and goals and financial philosophy. Compatibility in these areas is crucial for a stable, supportive relationship. Take your time, brothers. Don't rush into a new relationship. Give yourself time to fully recover. Rebuild your life. Make sure you ensure that you're ready to start a fresh new one before you jump back into that pit. All right? All right, so look, we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to read these super chats when I come back. Y'all make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. This is Uncle D. Make sure you show your love. I'm looking for 5 more super chats. That'll be great. If we had 8, but 5, and that'll be live. Shout out to Kevin Samuel.
I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training. And we've been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, What do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurling. Dennis, I'm not gonna get. Well, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm gonna tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So, ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic.
Yeah. So now it's the time to give a shout out to everybody who came through. We got 15 super chats. It's great to have another 5 super chats to read. I'm about to read them. I want to first acknowledge all my folks who came through on the Cash App, man. Big shout out to the Cash App crew, man. I'm going to read your last name. I'm not going to read your whole name because I don't want to put you out there like that, baby. You understand that? Shout out to Mr. Jackson. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate you for the super chats. The super chats are popping. Who else we got? Mr. Ward. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Mr. Smith, Mr. Baker, the contractor. All what my man said. Amen. All truth, sir. All truth. Praise God. Hallelujah. Shout out to Derek Turner. Shout out to Odom's, Mr. Odom. Shout out to Mr. McDonald. Shout out to Mark the Freelancer. Shout out to brother Derek. Shout out to Mr. Jackson. Big shout out to all my guys up in here, man. Yeah, man. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. Hey. Crazy thing is, man, and I'm gonna take a point of personal privilege right quick, man. So I put a video up on my Instagram page of my lady and I doing practicing jujitsu. As you guys know, I practice several forms of martial arts, but I think one of my favorites now is jujitsu. And it's just interesting because I'm watching her develop as a woman, and you know, she's really getting into it. So what I'll do is I'll play with her and she'll rough me up. Sometimes, though, I'm not playing and I'm really getting caught up. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm really getting taken down. but bottom line is some folks in Brazil saw it, like, you know, where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu started. That's why they call it BJJ. But they just thought that was the most hilarious thing. They didn't pick up everything in the translation, but they did get it and they just thought it was hilarious. So it's just amazing the power of social media. If you're an up and coming social media guru, if you got people, and look, I'm gonna tell you now, behind the scenes, everybody's calling me. I got white folks, black folks, all kind of folks contacting me to try to help them with their social media. And I will, you know, and I'm open like that. And it's because, you know, I'm who I am and I'm really pretty gregarious. People like it. They like the attitude. You know, I know some of y'all think I'm mean, but I'm having a mean lawyer. What do you want? A nice, oh, lovely, hey, y'all, how y'all? You want a nice, mean lawyer, especially one who does this every day and understand their pain. So it's cool, man. But I'm just saying the power of social media. And I don't ever want you guys to forget that how much I appreciate you all's patronage. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the time you guys spend hanging out with me. I just think that's pretty often. So shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. I want to go ahead and run through these, man. We got 17 super chat. We need 3 more, baby. We need 3 more. 3 more, baby. 3 more, and then I can go. But anyway, let's do this. Rich Turner said, I picked wrong as a young man and still somewhat have to deal with that piss poor decision. Brothers, better listen. Look, man, some people never recover. So shout out to you for doing what you done. Because last time I checked, you was riding around in them big Mercedes Benzes and them big trucks out there. You understand what I'm saying? He got a ranch, he got a King Ranch to make you put your truck up. You understand what I'm talking about? So shout out to Rich Turner, man. Keep your head up, keep pushing, brother. I was married 9 years and filed for divorce after she thought she could put her hands on me. I fought for joint custody of my kids and got slapped with alimony. But now I realize the burden she placed on me. Listen up, fellas, man. Y'all better listen. Y'all better listen. You understand me? And I'm telling you, brother DT, I know there were signs, but you ignored them signs. You thought you could fix her, heal her. She would never do that to you. And then she treated you just like she treated them other fellas. Shout out to my man Black Wall Street. He says, praise God. Love you, Uncle D. And you a bad MF for praise day. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's right. I'm still out here. Shout out to my man Lance Jackson. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you, bro. Who else we got in here? We got Brandon Jackson. Shout out to the Blizzard King. All hail the game. I'm gonna give it to you, baby. You may not like it. It's served cold. It's not gonna go down easy. But if you take your medicine, man, you'll be greater later. My man Matt Lewin said, my brother's going through this now. Ain't worth it. It's not worth it. There's too many other women out there. Hell, it's just too many. There's 4 billion women on this planet. You don't have to deal with that. Okay, guys, just think about what I'm saying. Facts, D. I picked the wrong woman and cost me 10 years of torment. Bro, right? Imagine being on a roller coaster for 60 seconds, as it drops. Now imagine being on that same roller coaster for 10 years as it drops. That's what it feels like for you guys who are inexperienced with these bad relationships. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So you guys, man, keep your head up, keep pushing. King Fred said, and so thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. My man Quantum Solace said, respect trumps love. Love you, don't love no one. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Torrin Jones, thank you so much for the $4.99. Ray Alexander, woman's intelligence is just as important as her beauty. Smart men marry smart, and beautiful women, airheads, are not winning with high-value men. Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't matter the education. It's a lot of women out there with lots of education, and they're just as toxic as the women without the education. It's really just about the human being that she is. You can put education on top of toxicity and still have the same type of person. Just keep that in mind. I know dudes married to doctors and dentists, and they catch just as much hell as a dude married to a chick who works as a waitress at the local Denny's. I'm just saying, you just gotta pay attention to the red flags and not be blinded by the booty, or should I say the beauty and the booty. So keep that in mind, man. But shout out to you, Ray. Thank you so much. Nicholas Levy said, Uncle D, you handle cases in Tennessee and Mississippi. Depends on the type of case, baby. Depends on the type of case. Go ahead and hit me up at 713-229-0770, and we talk about it. But if I can't handle it, I got somebody who will. Who else we got up in here? My man Quantum Solace says, I see dudes getting scolded, shamed, and degraded in public by senseless women. And what's even worse, these ladies are not up to par health-wise, not aesthetically pleasing. I'm looking at a dude shaking my head. Craig, I'm telling you, baby. I'm telling you, there's a lot of men out there getting DV'd and nobody talking about them, just keeping it 100 with you. But these are toxic relationships. Imagine what he could have been. He could have been an astronaut. He could have been a physicist. He could have been the next millionaire in his community. But he's constantly being distracted and held back from his promise, right? Fulfilling his purpose, because he's dealing with a woman that he probably shouldn't have been dealing with. You see what I mean? I just want to keep it real with y'all, man. Just keep it 100. Some of these relationships, you think God put you with them. God didn't put you with them. In fact, if you had listened to that little voice in your head, that little God, that little piece of God in your head, as opposed to your loins, you wouldn't have been in that relationship. Let's be honest. This is not fate we're talking about. This is bad decision making. All right, just think about that, fellas. My man says, who else we got in here? Quantum Solace came back with it. He said, after my ex took half of my poop, my stuff in judicial, in the court, it took me 10 years to regain my mental and physical fortitude back. I've bounced back tremendously, plus more not trying to make that mistake. Man, let me tell you something. You file for a divorce, and you have to sit around and wait for a judge to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to keep the house that you've been living in for so many years, that you've spent time and money paying for and rebuilding. The furniture, are you going to even have a bed to sleep on? This is what happens when you get divorced. You don't know what's going to happen. Everything is up in the air. You go from seeing your children every day to maybe seeing them once every 2 weeks for a couple of days. You don't get to wake up with your children in the morning and get them dressed. They don't come run to your bed and pull you out of bed and drag you downstairs. You don't get that anymore. The system is rigged so that women benefit. They get the children, they get the money. And this is why men aren't getting married anymore. Who wants to deal with that horror story? Your life gets totally turned upside down. And so unless you're picking a woman who you're worth the risk for, she can't have any red flags because the risk is just not worth it. You're going to lose your fortune, your children, half your money that you work for. It's a horrible feeling, the instability. Just imagine having everything taken away from you. Some men end up sleeping in cars. They go from having homes and children and having a purpose to sleeping in a car. They go from having plans to being a pauper. This is what happens to men. Okay? So, and this comes from choosing the wrong woman and not anticipating the financial desires and the consequences of divorce. You got to get prenups. You got to get trust accounts. You got to protect yourself, family. All right? And on top of that, along with the finance, you're dealing with the mental aspect of this thing. All right. Big shout out to the Crimson Cure. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. And she got a wrench. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Miss Crimson Cure. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work over there on your page, regulating those what she call them, hyenas. Regulating them lionesses, fighting them hyenas over there. Thank you so much for coming through, and thank you so much for the super chat. Big shout out to my man Urban Eagle. $2. Thank you so much. TIQS, extremely late. Sorry that, Uncle D. That's okay. You can see the replay. Bars. Anyway, my man King Fred, another one. Thank you, Uncle D. No problem. And of course, my homeboy from Compton, MC Recovery Relapse Practice Packing for Houston, Texas. Hey, there we go. The Black Conquer. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. We still would like to get 2 more super chats, but you know what? If we don't, that's cool. I appreciate y'all anyway. I appreciate the fellas who came through. Now, here's the thing, fellas. Let's go ahead and get tight. All right. I want you to put your earphones in a little tighter. All right. It's time to get real. All right. We've spent a lot of time discussing the dangers of getting involved with the wrong type of women. We've talked about the red flags, the financial traps, the emotional manipulation, and the complete derailment of your life that can result from making the wrong choice. Now that you've heard all this, let me be brutally clear. If you still go out there and let yourself get tangled up with a woman like this, you're making a choice to destroy your future. And that's on you. Here's what you need to understand. The goal here is for you to attain money and power. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the foundation of your influence, your legacy, your ability to shape your own destiny. Money is the fuel for you to power. It's what allows you to build, to invest, to command respect, and to leave something behind that lasts. If you're reckless with your money because you've been blinded by the wrong woman, then you're not just squandering dollars, you're throwing away your potential, your influence, and your entire future, and that of your legacy. We've talked about how the wrong women can drain your finances, wreck your mental health, and derail your ambitions. We've discussed how she can trap you in a cycle of debt, stress, and unhappiness. We've gone over how these toxic relationships can strip you of your power, leave you vulnerable, and push you into a corner where your only focus is survival, not growth, not success, not legacy, just survival. Now, if after all this, you still let your emotions take over and you fall for a woman who fits this mold, then you deserve every bit of the downfall that's coming to you. Let me remind you, this conversation is the easy way. You're getting the benefit of learning from the experiences of others without having to go through the pain yourself. You're being handed the keys to avoid the pitfalls that have ruined many men before you. But some of you will still choose the hard way. You'll ignore the red flags. You'll let your heart override your logic. You'll find yourself in a situation where you're struggling to pick up the pieces. And here's the harsh truth. There's no guarantee you'll ever recover. Some men never do. Some men lose everything. Money, respect, their future. All because they didn't heed the warnings. So here's your choice. You can be wise, learn from what's been shared and protect your future, or you can be a fool. Ignore the warnings and face the consequences head on. But now, but know this. Once you make that choice, there's no turning back. If you let yourself get dragged down by the wrong woman, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. And when you're sitting in the rubble of what used to be your promising life, don't say you weren't warned. You've been given the information. Now it's up to you to use it wisely. Protect your money, guard your power, and secure your legacy, because no one else would do it for you. This is Uncle D, and I'm out.
In the Spurling podcast, hit the like button, subscribe.